War games are as old as conflict itself. How they're played and why is the focus of an exhibit here at the Canadian War Museum in Ottawa. And historian Andrew Birch joins us and is doing a much better job at this than I am, with more on this exhibit called War Games.
That's right.
So chess is a war game. I didn't realize that.
Yes, chess has its origins as a game of strategy that has a long and rich history across the entire world. It kind of originates in India and spreads from Persia to Asia and Europe, and it goes pretty much went viral, so to speak, and went across the entire world. And so it's a way of controlling the battlefield, devising stratagems, and protecting key assets. And it's a very interesting chapter in the history of war games that we kind of start the exhibition with. Okay. And then from there we go into the varied ways in which war and games have kind of had an interplay,
right.
Both in terms of the games that people play for fun, but also the games that people have, in the militaries especially, have used internationally to devise ways to adapt, to innovate, to create new plans to meet new challenges. Be they in antiquity, the First and Second World Wars, the Cold War, or even to the present day.
Right. You're doing much better at war games than I am. I'm not good at. I guess I'm not good at war. But this isn't to make war a playful thing. This is to show how games and toys have been used.
Absolutely. So war playing games have a long and interconnected history, but war is not a game. And I think everyone who's had any sort of exposure to that knows that. But games have been used to prepare and train for war, but they've also been a way that people have understood war in the same way that war has filtered into pop culture and video, film and literature. So too has it been in the games we play either on a tabletop or on home consoles or in arcade games. These are ways in which war has found an expression in the popular culture that we do, and also the ways in which games as a tool have become a really interesting way that militaries have sought to prepare for war without the costs of going out to the field or the potential human loss of going into a war cold, so to speak.
Okay.
So this game, Missile Command, is an Atari game from the 70s and 80s that is essentially a Cold War simulator. There's no way to win this game. You can just get a high score, much in the same way there's no way to win.
So I don't feel so bad at losing
it.
it.
Absolutely not. No, that's right. It's been a very popular exercise where people have had a chance to, look at the ways in which the Cold War was kind of presented and the nature of the conflict that would perhaps have happened, which thankfully hasn't happened, as well as some of the ways in which the military have incorporated computers historically into the games that they have played, simulations that they do, the technology they use today is all kind of stemming from kind of the same source.
So Andrew, we're in a different part of the exhibit, war games right now. Where are we here?
So we're in the last section of the exhibition, which is looking at gaming global insecurity. So the ways in which the games have been used to look at some of the conflicts that are with us today and some of the problems that are with us today. Not just historical conflicts, but also things like how do you plan for humanitarian disasters, earthquake response, climate change, pandemic, exactly. And some of these are ways that academics and scholars have devised systems on tabletop to simulate really challenging things, to get people to think about some of the problems and challenges that they're going to have to solve when they actually happen. So we have Aftershock. This is a game developed by Canadian game designers and academics, Rex Brynan at McGill University, really showing this fictional country with various districts that are affected by an earthquake and how military, the UN, national government, media, all that kind of combine to rise to the challenge or perhaps fail in the midst of all of the challenges of coordinating aid in a very complex situation, which really reflects some of the real world applications of some of these games. We have a graphic here from the Canadian Joint Wargaming Center, which is with the Canadian Armed Forces. It's actually a center that looks at how to use games to prepare for complex situations, sometimes asked for by the military, but actually applied in things like vaccine distribution during the pandemic, or even looking at the ways in which to properly support Eastern Europe and NATO in the context of what's going on today.
So working on real-world problems then,
Absolutely.
Not just fun and games.
That's right. Now, people are still using games to explore war, to look at some of the moral challenges of war, and it's not all about war being fun. That's not what it's about. It's really about this is a way for people to gain access to and understand war in a safe way.
Okay.
So it's a very complex exhibition. There's a lot of moving pieces, but we really hope people will come and see it and learn a bit more, and maybe they'll come to it with some understanding and leave with a new understanding.
And very interactive. It's on now until the end of the year at the Canadian War Museum in Ottawa, and we'll get up more links for information at our website, chch.com/morninglive. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.